Hey friend, when's the last time you took a good look at your LinkedIn profile? Has it been a while? Then maybe we need to do a little house cleaning over there. I've got some great tips for you today, so stay tuned. Welcome to the Grant Writing Simplified podcast. This is the place to learn how to make a big impact in your community through grant writing and nonprofit consulting. The world needs you to step forward as a grant writer and use your skills to lead with confidence. I'm Teresa Huff, former special ed teacher turned grant writer and nonprofit strategist. In my 20 years of freelancing, I've helped nonprofits triple their funding and exponentially increase their reach. Now I'm stepping up to mentor freelancers and nonprofit leaders like you who are ready to take your skills to the next level. It's time to get intentional about your vision so you can create lasting change in your community. Learn the skills and strategies you need to become the grant writer the world needs. Let's do this. Hey friends, welcome back to this series on building your grant writing career. We're spending this whole month talking about different topics around building your career. Back in episode 52, I shared with you the tech tools that I use the most in my business. And then in episode 53 last week, Danielle Liss gave us some great tips for putting together our grant writing contracts and making sure we're protected, but also making sure the contracts are working for us and flexible when we need them to be. So make sure you catch those as you're going through this series. All right, today I have got some goods for you. We're going to be talking about LinkedIn. Now, LinkedIn in the past has kind of had a bad rap. Let's face it, I hate to say it, but it was kind of dry and boring. But it's actually become a pretty cool place to hang out. And I like it a lot. I learn a lot. I've met some incredible people there, and it's just really a great place to be. There's not much drama. It's very challenging. There are a lot of good resources there that I've learned and picked up on and become aware of because of it that I wouldn't have otherwise. And it can also be a really good place to showcase you and your skills and what you're capable of. I'm going to take you step by step through it today. Now, we're going to cover a lot of steps, but I don't want you to get overwhelmed. I've got a download for you with a checklist that goes step by step through each of these. I'm going to cover 4 main phases. We're going to talk through those today, and you can download that at teresahuff.com/LinkedIn. That'll be in the show notes for you, so you can just click right through teresahuff.com/LinkedIn, so you can download this guide to make sure your LinkedIn profile is working for you as well. I've recently gotten more active on LinkedIn over the last year or two, and it's really been helpful. At first, I wasn't so sure. I had several people recommend it to me, and I just really didn't know how to jump in. I wasn't sure about posting. I just didn't know what I was doing over there, and I wasn't real comfortable with it. But the more I did, the more I learned about it, the more I realized this is a great resource, and there's so much good stuff here. Ways to connect with people that are experts in the field that you're in, or who are several steps ahead of you that you would like to connect with. So that's why I've broken this down to help you get there a little faster. Now, why am I making such a big deal about LinkedIn? Okay, I want you to open up a tab in your browser and go to private mode and then Google yourself. And what comes up? Google your own name and see. Most likely, your LinkedIn profile is going to be the number 1 result. Even if you have a website, even if you've written articles and blogs, even if you have a job with a nonprofit, your LinkedIn profile is probably going to pop up first in search results because Google likes LinkedIn and it likes the keywords and things there. So it's important that this portrays you in a really good light, like the professional that you are. Now, there are a couple things we need to understand about our LinkedIn profiles. First of all, this is not a cut and paste of your resume. A lot of people think it is, that they just slap in the exact same thing on their resume and call it good. LinkedIn is different because you don't have to follow those strict rules and expectations like with resumes. There are certain parameters that resumes have to have and certain design things and elements and wording. But this, you can kind of shake it up a little and showcase your personality. You still want to be professional, but you can actually make it sound like you. It doesn't have to be stuffy and dry. This can become like a brochure for you and your business or your career and help people see what you're like and what it would be like to work with you and talk to you. So like I said, LinkedIn has become a pretty cool place to hang out. And I highly recommend you go over there and check it out, connect with me, join the community over there, search Grant Writing Simplified, and pop in there with us. There are really 4 phases that we need to talk about for cleaning up and polishing your LinkedIn profile to where it conveys your professional image that you want out there. Phase 1 is to polish your profile. In phase 2, you're going to find and follow. Phase 3, you're going to comment and connect. And then phase 4, you're going to master your messaging. Now, I'm going to break down each of these into steps. And like I said, you can go over and get the checklist, teresahuff.com/LinkedIn. So here are a few tips to jazz up your profile. In phase 1, polish your profile. First, you need to get a professional photo and a header image. Now, you know when you go to LinkedIn profiles and that background bar across the top behind your picture, that whole thing just has a standard image that comes with it, but you can customize that. So put something else there. You could put your title, you could put a picture that conveys the work you do, you could put a picture of you in action in your nonprofit work. Something there besides just that custom photo that's immediately going to show a little more of what you're about and what you do. Now, if you download the free guide, you'll be able to also get a link to some free Canva templates so that you can plug and play to create your own header right there. It's already pre-sized, so all you have to do is just customize to whatever you want it to say or whatever picture you want. Number 2, you're going to optimize your profile to make sure you're using keywords and search-friendly terms. So especially in your title, your headline, and in your about sections, think about what people are searching for. They're probably not searching for CEO or executive director, but they're probably looking for other things like nonprofit specialist or grant writing expert or something like that. So try to incorporate those words and those phrases that they would be searching for. In all of it, but especially in your about section, you want to tell them about you, but you want to make it about them. So it's a show, not tell type of approach. Remember what I've said before about grants. It's true of your LinkedIn profile too, that there's a person on the other side of everything you write. So write for that person. Then number 3, add recommendations and endorsements. So this might be reaching out to people that you know, who you've truly worked with and are sincere and could really testify to your work ethic and the type of person that you are and what it was like to work with you. Then number 4, there's a featured section on LinkedIn where you can choose these items strategically to make sure what you want featured will be showcased right there. This could be an article you've written, a website, or a graphic, things like that, that you can make sure that these are what people see when they scroll down your profile. And then number 5, check your privacy settings and make sure these are where you want them to be. Do you want to be discoverable easily? Do you want it to where anyone can view your profile? Do you want it a little more secure? So think about that before you go making a lot of changes. All right, now once you've done these things, we're going to start on phase 2, find and follow. First, you're going to follow organizations, leaders, and podcasters that are relevant to your field. There's so much you can learn from them. And then by starting to read that, you'll find articles that are relevant, and you can save those articles up in the corner of each post. You can save that if it's something you want to reference later or share with someone else or come back to it later. Then that gives you a great collection for reference. Next, you're also going to find relevant groups to join, and you're joining with the intention of sincerely learning and contributing value. You're not just joining to drop spam here and there and self-promos and leave. You want to go with the intention of making it a better place. Next, phase 3, we're going to comment and connect. Now, don't get intimidated by this. You're just doing it sincerely. You're just having conversations. You're going to connect with relevant people in your field or in the field that you want to grow into. So if you're not a grant writer yet, but you want to become one, then this would be a good time to start connecting with people who are a little ahead of you in the journey that you can learn from and that you can start to see their posts and start absorbing some of the things that you don't know yet. Connect with nonprofit groups and leaders. Start seeing what they post, and you can learn about fundraising and current issues that are going on in the nonprofit world. It's a really good way to stay in touch with what's happening and keep your ear to the ground in the field. Then start having real, sincere conversations. Take an interest in people and their work. Ask them about it. What kind of projects are you working on now? What's your favorite kind of client to work with? Show up with an attitude of service and curiosity. People will respond to that. They'll see if you're sincere or if you're just trying to ask a question and then spam them with an offer. That's not what we're about. You want to truly connect with the intention of building relationships. Then phase 4, we move into master your messaging. Now, if posting on LinkedIn seems kind of overwhelming, you don't have to just immediately jump in and start posting profound thoughts overnight. You can just share a post that you found interesting. You could share a quote that has encouraged you. You could share an update from the nonprofit you're working with. For some reason, we sometimes find it hard to talk about ourselves when we're happy to share a post about an event or an effort that's going on. So start there. Then you can gradually start sharing other kinds of posts too. And then finally, build up consistency with your posting. Now, this does not mean constantly. We're just trying to be consistent. So maybe for you, that's once a week. Maybe it's twice a month. Maybe it's twice a week. But find what is a good balance for you and be consistent with it. So with all of this, I don't want you to be overwhelmed. I want you to start really slow. First, you're going to polish up your profile, and then you're going to connect and comment and message and share. Now remember, you can start slow. Start by connecting, and then start by commenting on other people's posts now and then. Ask a question. Show your appreciation for the post. Leave some encouragement. Whatever it is, just comment here and there with sincerity. Then you can message people as you're comfortable and just start those conversations and then share their posts. So this doesn't have to be a big, huge, intimidating thing. You're just starting to have a presence there, starting to interact a little bit and use the resources. If you break it down step by step, it's not that bad. You can do this. I had no idea what I was doing when I first started with LinkedIn. Don't wait until your profile is perfect to start doing these things. Go ahead with what you have now. You can keep tweaking and polishing. That's what it's for. We all do that. And LinkedIn is always changing. The algorithms change. Anything on social media, you never know when something's going to be different. The main thing is to just start. Just get comfortable with it. Just start doing it and move into that. And the more you do it, the more you'll start to see results. Be consistent with it. You can start by joining me over in the Grant Writing Simplified community on LinkedIn. I mean, seriously, let's make LinkedIn the place where the cool kids hang out, right? So come on over there and request to join the community, and then make sure you grab the download. teresahuff.com/LinkedIn. It goes through all these steps for you and explains the reasoning behind it. Let me know how it goes. Let me know, are you going to be working on your profile? Do you think it's good to go? Do you have a lot of work to do? Let me know. I'd love to hear, and I'd love to support you in that. All right, my friends, have a great week.